Imagine a city so wealthy, gold piled in its marketplaces, spices perfumed its harbors, and ships sailed so thick across the sea they looked like floating forests. Carthage wasn't just a city, it was the beating heart of an ancient trade empire. And because of that, the world wanted to destroy it. The story begins on the North African coast, where the Phoenician settlers built Carthage into a maritime powerhouse. Their ships traveled from Spain to Sicily, from Sardinia to the edge of the Atlantic, gathering silver, copper, dyes, and exotic goods no one else could obtain. But with riches came enemies, because the Carthaginians guarded their trade routes like hunters protecting prey. To control the western Mediterranean, they built a navy unlike anything the world had ever seen. Fast, maneuverable warships commanded by captains raised on the sea. These ships escorted caravans, blocked rival traders, and crushed anyone who dared encroach on their markets. But the more Carthage grew, the more it threatened the Greek city-states and the rising power of Rome. One of the earliest conflicts erupted in Sicily, where Greek colonies and Carthaginian traders fought over who would dominate the island's ports. These battles weren't just about land, they were about trade monopolies, sea lanes, and the wealth that flowed through them. Carthage used diplomats, spies, and swift naval strikes, refusing to give up a single harbor. But the greatest threat came from across the sea, Rome. When Roman merchants pushed into Carthaginian trade zones, sparks flew. What started as an economic rivalry exploded into the Punic Wars, three colossal conflicts that changed history. Carthage deployed elephants, legendary generals like Hamilcar and Hannibal, and naval innovations that terrified their enemies. For a time, it seemed Carthage would dominate the entire Mediterranean. Yet the cost of controlling trade was enormous. As Rome's armies grew stronger, Carthaginian colonies rebelled, mercenaries demanded pay, and trade routes were choked by Roman blockades. In the end, the empire built on commerce found itself surrounded by nations built for conquest. When Carthage finally fell, its harbors burned for dysets, trade ships reduced to ash, its markets silenced forever. But its legacy lived on. Carthage proved that in the ancient world, trade was as powerful as armies, and worth fighting for until the last breath.